Bob Borosage is co-director of Campaign for America's Future. He has a piece in Politico called GOP Likes Tax Hike for Poor. You know, Bob, I know many people in my personal life who just like to say the opposite of what people around them are saying. They just like to be contrarian. So is this why we see Republican plan after Republican plan that would actually raise taxes on the poor? Is there more to it? I mean, where's this coming from?
It has become a fixation of the right that some 47% of Americans don't pay income taxes. And it polls very well when you go out and say half of America is not paying income taxes, or not paying taxes, which is the way they put it. It polls very well. What it ignores is that low wage and low income and middle class people pay much more than the wealthy in terms of their payroll taxes, in terms of sales taxes as a percentage of their income, and in terms of property taxes, even if they're renters, because they pay the percentage that gets passed on to them from the property taxes of their landlords. So, but Republicans have made this a theme. Romney, Bachmann, Perry, Gingrich, they've all had this theme that not enough Americans are paying taxes, and the complement to that is, of course, that the rich are paying too much in taxes. So all of their tax schemes are designed to put dramatic reductions on the taxes of the very wealthiest Americans, the very few 1% that have benefited from our economy over the last decades.
Can this succeed politically as a strategy? I mean, forget about whether it's fair or not, but if we actually, you need people to vote against their own best interests for that type of strategy to work, right? I mean, just looking at the numbers and what people earn.
I tell you, I think it might have worked before Occupation Wall Street. I think the movement that got started there, which focused the nation's attention on inequality and particularly the rewards that have been reaped by the top 1%, now makes these plans untenable. You know, Keynes' tax plan, his 999 tax plan, basically gives a tax break of an average of about $1.4 million a year to the top 1%. And Perry's so-called flat tax, which also eliminates taxes on wealth, gives a similar kind of tax cut plan, and a tax cut for the very wealthy. And so with Warren Buffett saying he's disturbed, he's paying a lower tax rate than his secretary, America's richest man, under the Perry and the Keynes plans, his tax rate is going to head towards zero. And I don't think Americans will put up with it now that they're paying attention to this because of Occupation Wall Street.
The other obsession, and we're going to be talking, coming up after you, we're talking to conservative columnist Floyd Brown, who actually says he thinks all of these flat tax proposals are fantastic and the media is not giving them enough attention, which is just not true according to a new Pew Research poll. All of this focus in the media on these flat tax proposals, do you think it's critical enough? Is it realistic enough, or is it too much of the, on the one hand, this, and on the other hand, this, and you decide which makes most sense?
I think they've given them a pretty easy analysis thus far, partly because they didn't have the neutral sources saying what's the distributional effect of the Perry tax plan, for example. But that data is now starting to come out. And there's two parts of these plans that everybody ought to understand. One is they're not flat taxes. The first thing they do is eliminate taxes on wealth, both Perry and Keynes, for example, and the estate tax, which goes to only multi-million-dollar estates. They end taxes on long-term capital gains and on interest and on dividends, which is the way the most wealthy people make most of their income, the Warren Buffetts and others. And then they lower the top income tax rates down to 20% or 9% in Keynes' formulation. That obviously reduces taxes on the top end income. But the big scam is to eliminate taxes on wealth, which will dramatically skew our tax code to favor the very, very wealthy, the top 1% that controls 90% of the nation's wealth.
Last thing on this is from the point of view of Democrats. Don't you think that Democrats, progressives, et cetera, should be making a stronger case in the corporate, national mainstream media that Republicans want to raise your taxes? In other words, Republicans are still mostly getting a pass on they're the party of less taxes. I don't know that the left is successfully enough showing so many of these candidates would actually result in your taxes going up.
Yes, they want to raise your taxes, and they want to lower the taxes on their biggest contributors. And I think this is the time for Democrats and for progressives to make this clear about these plans. I don't think they can survive the light of day if enough light is put on them and people start to understand their effects.
All right, Bob Borosage, Campaign for America's Future's co-director. Thanks so much for joining us on short notice.
My pleasure. Take care.